Hello my lovely YouTube friends, Gypsy here. So this video is going to be my tag video for the tag that's going around, tips and tricks, everybody's sharing their tips. And there's some great tips. If you see a video titled tag video tips and tricks or whatever, I don't know if it's called tips and tricks, but whatever it's called, if there's tips, click on it because there's some amazing tips going around. I'm learning so much from all of the talented people in this community. Now, I've only been crocheting for 3 years, but since I started crocheting, that's all I've been doing. So I don't know if somebody else might have already shared these tips because I'm a bit behind. I'm like nearly 3 days behind in my videos, guys. It's so hard to keep up with everybody. I just want to be friends with everybody and watch everybody's videos and not miss anything but life. There's other things to do besides YouTube. Nothing else is getting done. So before I get into my tips, I've got 3 tips for you. Before I get into those, I also have 3 shout outs that I want to give. So these 3 channels I have been watching. I never miss their videos. I don't know if it's just because I relate to these channels, because they are local to me or closer to me, and the accent, you guys love my accent. You're always saying in the comments, wow Gypsy, I love your accent. So if you love an Aussie accent, or one of these channels is not Australian but has a cool accent anyway, so I'm going to share these 3 channels with you, and I suggest you go and check them out because they are so funny and they're great. I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll tell you exactly why. Okay, so I've written these down so that I don't get people's names all botched. But these are channels that I watch without fail every video they upload. Okay, my first shout out is going to Mouseymoo. If you have not checked her out, she's not Australian, she's from New Zealand, but she is awesome. She's so down to earth and she's just like that friend that you've just had forever. She's so relatable and she's very, very talented with her work. She knits, she crochets, and she's just finished this big whopping blanket. She makes so much. I don't know how. Like all of her projects are projects that would take me a long time. Like she doesn't ever pick easy projects. I don't think I've ever seen her just whip up something that was just in a night like I do. I like the quick projects because then I get that satisfaction of having it completed. But she is fantastic. She does a lot of live streams and I love getting on her live because she really is just like that old friend that you've had forever. So she is fantastic. I love her. And I wish that I wasn't always missing her lives because I do love chatting back and forth with her. But because I get so behind, I just try and... Anyway, she is fabulous. Love you, Mousy. And she's always here in my comments. She's such a great supporter of me and I'm always there in her comments supporting her. So please go and check her out. The link will be in the description box. Okay, shout out number 2 is for the Crafty Poppet. She is amazing. Her accent, she is in Australia, but her accent is like not really Australian. Like it would sound Australian to you if you're not Australian, but because I am Australian, I can tell that she hasn't always been Australian. Like she's from somewhere else and then she has something coming back through. Anyway, you're not going there for her accent, you are going there for her work. Her work is amazing. She's so knowledgeable and I love her podcast and it's so structured. You know, like I love the structured podcast, how they move from, I'm not structured. I mean, I try to be because I've always strive to be a structured person and it just doesn't work out for me. I'm a chaotic person. I'm very up and down. Nothing ever goes as it's supposed to go. Nothing's ever planned. But I can tell she's a planner and I really admire that in another person. She's fantastic. I love her work. I love the yarn. She goes to the dollars. She goes to the like thrift shop, I guess. Here we call them op shops. She gets the most amazing yarns from the op shop. I don't know. It's like all these like amazing yarns just like draw her in. She uses a lot of natural fibers. Oh, I love, love, love watching her and I never ever scroll past one of her videos. So the people that I'm giving shout outs to are 3 people that I always watch all their videos. So go and check her out. She is the Crafty Poppet, and I have heard other podcasters mention her. I have heard other podcasters mention her channel as well. So I think that she's going to be quite a popular one and one to watch here on YouTube. So she's like shooting up now. So let me know. Go visit her and let me know what you think. So the third and final shout out that I have today is my girl Keza. Oh God, Kerrie. So her channel is Kerrie Down the Rabbit Hole. She is Aussie and she is as Aussie as they come. She is hilarious and she reminds me of a lot of my friends. She's just, you know, she's just so relatable and she's really talented too. She spins. I want to learn more about spinning, and so she sometimes spins on her channel, which I find just so intriguing that people can do that, and I really do want to learn more about that. But she uploads really regularly, and she just what you see is what you get with her. So Kerrie Down the Rabbit Hole, I'll link all of these in the description below. Oh, one thing though, if you are offended by colourful language, don't go to Kerrie's channel. She just lets it, what you see, like I said, what you see is what you get. She does not edit herself, and I love her for it. She is so funny and amazing. She has me in stitches every single time. The thing I love most about Kerrie's channel is that she uploads really regularly, but just short little videos. So she'll just have me, like, so I'll just watch like a video will go for like 5 minutes or a few minutes and I'm cracking up laughing. She's just hysterical. Like, she just makes me laugh so much, and she's that real Aussie flavor. If you're looking for some more Aussies to love, she is 100% authentic Aussie. That's it. That's Kerrie. So go and check those people out. If you have the time, you will not regret it. I love them all. Okay, so let's get into some tips, shall we? So the first tip that I have, I don't know if I'm the best person to be giving tips really, because I just make up my own rules. So magic circles, guys. Magic circles. If you have watched any one of my tutorials, and I do have a playlist of my tutorials. So if you go to my channel and you can see the playlist, the tutorials are on there. So magic circles, I cannot stand magic circles. I hate them. When I first started crocheting, that was the one thing I just could not get my head around. It wasn't working. My brain was like, cannot compute. And so here's my magic circle. I'll show you how I do a magic circle. If you haven't seen if you've seen my tutorials, you already know. Let me just come closer so that you can see against my black, so it might be a bit easier for you. Okay, so here is a slip knot. So I chain 1, chain 2, and that is my magic circle. I work all of my stitches into that first chain space. So I'll just put 5 single crochet in there just so that you can get a bit of an idea. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and oh, that's the wrong side, 5. And so then I just pull on that short string, and it pulls it all nice and tight, just like a magic circle if you're working into a circle. It's so much easier for me anyway. For those of you who can't for those of you who cannot master the magic circle, it's the best. Okay, so tip number 2 is I am not a fan of foundation chains. So foundation chains, I find when you work into them, it's quite awkward and they get all loosey-goosey and they get all uneven and all those yucky things. So I actually usually use a chainless foundation, which is, so you would be working up for your first row, you can work it up a row of single crochet or a row of double crochet or whatever stitch you need to use, and I find that a better gauge for the length. You know, sometimes you chain a whole bunch and you think that that's an accurate representation of how long your project's going to be, but it's really not, because your tension with chaining might not be ideal, or usually your foundation chain needs to be a bit looser than your stitches. I don't know if I'm making sense, but anyway. So there is a way that you can do a chainless foundation. I'm not going to show you how to do that because I don't really have the right setup here at the moment for you to be able to see clearly, because you're probably going to need a bird's eye view, but there's some incredible videos here on YouTube with how to do that. So I'm going to link that in the description box of this video where you can learn that. And it's amazing, amazing. You probably won't go back to chaining, because I chain in my video tutorials because I don't want to confuse anybody. But other than that, if I'm working on a project, I pretty much always use the chainless foundation. Okay, for my third and final tip, let's talk stitch markers, shall we? So these babies are my preferred stitch markers. These are available on Wish, and they are sturdy. They open and close really easily, so they're easy to use. However, if I'm doing amigurumi, when you're doing amigurumi, you're making and you're working in a round. If you make amigurumi, you will understand. You're working in a round and you're constantly unclipping the stitch marker, and it makes it slow. It's slow. Even with these really quick ones, it's so slow to be clipping, unclipping. It's just not ideal. So these babies, the old bobby pin, they are the best stitch marker for amigurumi. I would not use these if I'm storing my work or I'm leaving and these are a bit more secure. But these, because they've got those ridges, they just slide in and off your work. So I've just done a little test. So my nails are so long. It's really difficult for you to see, but okay, so there's a stitch there, and they just slide on like that, slide off like that. Every time I get around to that same spot that marks my stitch, it doesn't come off. So I can shake it, turn it upside down. It's not going to come off but it slides off. If you pull it, if you give it a nice strong pull, it'll just slide off, push, slide back on, but it doesn't just fall off, you know. The best thing ever. So usually I'll use that if I'm doing amigurumi and I'm going round and round and round and round and round. And, you know, sometimes there's only like 12 stitches till you get back to the start. You don't want to be clipping and unclipping. That's going to hold you up. So this is the best thing I have found for that. If you are not a podcaster, please put your tips in my comment section. I want to know what your tips are. So please, if you have any crochet tips, please share them with me. And I might even make a video where I read them out. So if I get a few, I'll make a video where I read them out, because everybody can benefit from these crochet tips. Definitely. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all the things. And I'll see you again really soon. Thanks, guys. Bye. Don't forget to check out those other channels. So these 3 channels I have been watching. I never miss their videos. I love them, and I don't know if it's the familiarity. No, wait. What is it? Familiarity. Okay, I don't know if it's the Okay, I don't know if it's because I can just relate to these channels. Feeling guilty and I'm well aware, but you don't look ashamed, and baby I'm not scared. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night, and if you Meemaw's craftin'. Hi my lovely YouTube friends, Gypsy here.